Okay, in this tutorial I'm going to show you how to set up a Google Maps API key for the Church Admin plugin. It's very useful to have an API key on your plugin. It allows you to have address maps with a nice little pin showing exactly where the person lives. That just helps people find one another. On the app, if you've got the app, there's a map and directions button that will take them right to their house if you've got the API key set up. When you first install Church Admin, and you're editing a household, there'll be no map there because you don't have the API key. The API key is an individual thing for your site, so you need to get it set up if you want mapping. When you do have the API key, it'll look a little bit like this when you're editing. You'll be able to update an address and then move the pin and get it in the right place, or people will be able to do that when they're editing themselves. Okay, so let's get started. First of all, you need to go to cloud.google.com/maps-platform. It'll be in a little diagram at the bottom there just to help you. If you've got a Google account, you need to get yourself signed in. I'm already signed in, and then you can click Get Started. Now, the thing with the Google Maps API is that you need to put a credit card on your account just in case you're going to get charged, but they have a massive free limit. So unless you're a church of 20,000 people with millions of people looking, hundreds of thousands of people looking at your maps, the whole thing is going to be free. When you finally get to the screen, it'll look something like this, hopefully. Yours won't have as much in there if you've never had an API key before. I've got graphs showing my usage. Look, I'm an average sized church and I've got lots and lots of people looking at Church Admin plugin, and still I'm only getting 625 requests in a month for maps, so it's not going to cost you anything. Okay, so what you need to do is go over to, on the left hand side here, to credentials. Click on that. For the screen to come up, and you're going to want to create a new credential. I've got quite a few on there already. For some reason I need to put to view all credentials or create new credentials, visit credentials in API and services. You probably won't have that link, but if you do, you need to click on it to get, wait a second, to get that link at the top, create credentials. Hopefully you had that straight away. There we go, create credentials. We want to create an API key, so we're going to click that. And there is the key that we are going to get. Obviously this is a public video, so I'm going to delete the key in about 10 minutes time. So if we click that button there, that's copy. That is now copied to the clipboard. And I need to go back to Church Admin, get logged in, and you need to click on Church Admin, then Settings, and scroll right down to where it says Google Maps API key, and I'm going to right click and paste it in there, and then Save Settings. Now, the thing with the Google API key is it takes about 10 minutes to work. So we go back to this site and we click refresh, and we'll find, boom, it worked really quickly today. That is unusual for Google. Okay, so what you then do is you can type in an address. I'm in the UK. I'm not going to give you my address. I'm going to give you the address of our wonderful Prime Minister, who lives at 10 Downing Street in London. It's a pretty public address. There's no privacy issues there. When you click, please click here to update map location. Once you've entered the address, it puts the pin bang on where he lives, but you can always move it around if it's wrong. Okay, and then when you're editing a household, you'll do that. That address is now geolocated. Okay, now at the moment, the problem with the API key is that when somebody looks at your web page, if they're clever and sneaky and a bit hacky, they can view source and they can find out your API key very easily and copy it. Now, because there's a danger that you might get charged if millions and millions of people or hundreds of thousands of people look at your map, you need to restrict your key. So let's go back to the Google screen. We've still got where the API key was created. Look, mine's now very public. So what we need to do is click restrict key. When you click on restrict key, you get this screen coming up. I'm going to change the name of it to YouTube video key, because I'm going to delete it in a minute. Now, what I want to do is restrict it to HTTP referrers, which means websites. So we're going to restrict it to particular website. Now just below here it says if left blank, your API key will accept requests from any website. So at the moment anyone can use that key and use it for on their website, and it will cost me if there's millions and millions of them. So we're going to add an item. Now they use a thing called wildcards to make it nice and easy, so it works all the way across your site. So they've given you an example there of *example.com/*. So what you need to do is have your domain name. So I'm going to use churchappinplugin.com. So you put an asterisk. That means that it'll take the www version, the non-www version, it'll take the HTTP version, the HTTPS version. It's all fine, it will all work if you put that asterisk dot in front. Then you type in your domain name, churchappinplugin.com, .com / and then another asterisk, and then you click done, and that's all you need to do. You can do other restrictions if you want, but you do not need to do those. So now that key that is very public, you can all see on YouTube, which I'm going to delete in 10 minutes, is now in theory restricted only to ChurchAdmin plugin, well in practice to churchappinplugin.com. So we'll click save. Now it said there it takes 5 minutes for the changes to happen, so you need to wait. Sometimes it won't work, or sometimes it will work. I've got a bunch of other keys there as well for other sites that I've got. Right, so I'm going to go back to there and we'll just have a look and see if it still works. This is my local host machine. Bang, it doesn't work anymore. Because I've restricted it to churchaddminplugin.com only, my local host site here in front of me now doesn't work. So if you get an error like this one here, it's because you've restricted your key wrongly for your website. Okay, and you need to go back to credentials, click on the one that you were after, YouTube video key, and get this bit right. Okay, that's all there is to do to get the Google Maps API key running on your site. Hope that helps. Thanks very much. There's another little bit that's worth checking to make sure it's working completely correctly. When you're still on the Google Cloud Platform page, click on Dashboard, and then click on Enable APIs and Services. Okay, and what we're looking for on here, let's just move this out of the way, is we are looking for Maps JavaScript API. Make sure it says enabled. If it's not enabled, you can click on Enable.